Hey guys, Dave from Nerdarchy. For nerds, by nerds, hang out well, couple nerds.
I'm Ted.
I'm Ryan.
And today we have a monster BFF for you, the Pixie and the Ooze.
If you want to jump down to the description below, you can sign up for Nerdarchy, the newsletter. It's a great way to get weekly gaming tips, as well as learn how to game with Nerdarchy.
All right, so where in the monster manual will we find these monsters?
Well, the Pixie's on 253 of your trusty monster manual.
And what about the Ooze?
The Ooze is
right there.
The Ooze is coming to you in July on our Patreon as one of the rewards and one of our monsters. So
It's boozy.
It's boozy, so we wanted to create an encounter that was while it could be dangerous and lethal, we wanted it to be more fun and whimsical and funny instead. So in this case, we have a couple of pixies who are up to no good.
So basically the Pixies are out there they've done this ritual to create the Ooze, which is essentially similar to your gelatinous cube and that kind of stuff. And that thing's sole design is to actually get people drunk.
So basically, they're hanging out at the tavern because they like to watch people do stupid stuff, but
it's not stupid enough.
It's not stupid enough. It's not happening fast enough.
People are kind of in control.
What can we do to make this happen faster? So that they break into the storeroom. And they enact this ritual on the different liquors down there. So there could be a variety of boozes, because you have your ale, your wine, your spirits.
Or it could be an amalgamation, depending upon how big you want it.
Your basic mixed boozes.
Right. Oh, that sounds horrid.
Horrid. So the boozes themselves really don't care about people. All they really want to do is consume things that actually make more booze, like hops and barley and any kind of fruit that can be fermented. Because eventually if they consume enough, they'll grow to a certain point and they'll split.
Yeah, so eventually dwarves are going to be all about recruiting
cultivating
boozes. Yeah,
so,
distilling them, actually.
So their primary form of defense, so they can be left alone while they partake in their only life function, which is to consume and become more, is to get people drunk. Mm-hmm. So they slap them with a very potent alcohol-infused pseudopod punch.
Yeah.
Or it also has the option to just kind of move through them and try to engulf them.
Oh, nice.
So similar to some of the other ooze attacks that have the ability to do that, as opposed to trying to do that to digest them. It's just another way to actually get them drunk because they're now inside, so they're not going to be able to do much.
So this monster BFF, this is an for urban settings, pretty much.
Absolutely.
Urban, largely non-lethal, just like a chuckly sort of encounter.
Well, the actual tactics would be the Pixies, they're part of the encounter, but most of the time they're going to sit back, giggle, and laugh. They're not looking to actually
what they're doing is they're tying people's shoelaces together. They're doing that sort of stuff, like spilling tankards of ale on people, like maybe even doing situations where they're like trying to precipitate people picking fights with one another, like sucker punching somebody, but it's such that it looks like it came from another person.
So they engage in this act of sporting with each other, right? So like it's all about the reaction they can get from the different patrons of the tavern or wherever they're at for the most part. Like for instance, maybe they find it really amusing when the face of people changes color, right?
Yeah.
And so the best way to make this happen is to embarrass them. So they pull pranks, do something like that. Maybe they even lead bystanders to a closed room when they open the door and there's a couple in there getting it on. They jump up all surprised, and they find this kind of stuff hilarious.
Or projectile vomitus, like who can get someone to do so the furthest. Yeah.
They set them up like catapults.
Yeah, exactly.
So like you could
can measure range on that. Yeah, exactly.
You could start off the evening with just the normal your
tavern hangout type of situation.
Yeah, your adventures meet in the tavern, right? Mm-hmm. This would be the perfect use of the trope of you're all in the tavern.
Well, this is also a great situation to use for all of those GM 911s we get where they won't leave the tavern. They won't leave the tavern.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
They are now.
So I would start off with like just weird weird things happening around the tavern. You know that you know the bar wench's blouse flies open. You know, one of the patrons gets up to go use the outhouse, and his pants fall down around his ankles, and he trips and falls. You know, his ass is in the air. You know, some of the patrons, or maybe they're playing darts, and a dart goes stray. You know, glasses being
hit someone in the ass. Like, yeah, that's where it's gonna go.
like the guy that fell with his pants down around his ankles.
Yeah, exactly. Just maybe mugs of ale just like splash into someone's face like randomly in the night.
And if you want to really ratchet up this encounter, this is where you add the outhouse mimic.
Oh no, terrible.
Yeah, I know. So so essentially, you know, you want to start at the beginning of the night, and you just want to kind of like keep keying things
Ratcheting it up,
and like give them things to do in the tavern. To keep them interested, whether it's whether it's
gambling,
drinking contests,
drinking.
arm wrestling, you know, being a participant in the darts, and all of which can be gambling.
Yeah.
You know, so this way it keeps the players engaged, because you definitely need a way to like lock them into the tavern and make it part of the gaming experience for the night. So that the characters don't necessarily want to leave, so you can do the foreshadowing and, you know, slowly ratchet it up. You know, you don't want to go right to 10 with it.
Right. And you know, you're really keying on the fact that the Pixies have the superior invisibility, so you're just not going to hear them, you're not going to see them unless they want to be heard or seen.
Well,
you could hear them. They might be.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's
giggling.
just it. I think you're going to hear them giggling and stuff like that. You know, I think they're going to.
But in a rowdy tavern, are you going to really hear something this big laughing?
If it does in your ear.
Well,
there's that.
Well, it depends. Yeah. Well, so remember, disadvantage is only a -5 to your perception check. So.
Yeah, that's true. And you have players, so I mean, at first level, you can have a very observant character.
Absolutely.
If they have the observant feat.
If they have the observant feat.
So, I think that about wraps it up. It's our teaser for this little shindig we got going on. So what do you guys think of the Booze, Ooze, and the Pixies? Put your thoughts and comments down below. While you're at it, like, share, even subscribe.
You just check us out over on Instagram.
You can hang out with us on Facebook.
So until next time, stay nerdy.